The Square Ball Podcast.
Hello and welcome to Propaganda. My name's Dan. I've got Michael with me and Chris Mack as we take our journey through the football world via the medium of fan channels. We'll get to all that in a second. First up, we say thank you and happy birthday to Levi Solicitors.
They're really dragging out this birthday. I feel like we've been talking about it all season.
Right.
Get over it. That's what I'm saying. But at the same time, I'm saying fill your boots on the 15%.
Right.
It's good for everyone, really.
Not a customary birthday greeting. Get over it. But
well,
particularly from people who are paying us to talk about.
You know, sometimes we've all known people who've dragged out a birthday too long, and you know they are milking it a bit too much.
But they're 90. Not many people make it to 90.
I suppose so. Yeah. All right. Fine.
Wills Conveyancing, lasting powers of attorney, 15% discount on those until the end of this month. Full details and terms are on the website. Otherwise, you can get a 10% discount on your legal fees on all their other services. levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. Time for our magical mystery tour around the football clips world. Michael Normanson, you are our guide, our bus driver. Hey, you're driving the plane.
A lot of miles this week.
Right.
Been to Norwich for like a second. Been up to Sunderland.
That's a really short stay, is that?
Yeah, it was not worth it.
Right.
It was not much of a game, was it? And also it feels like it was ages ago. So I started listening to it and I was like, this is old stuff.
Let's get it out of the way.
So I've got one clip of Talk Norwich City. This is them reflecting on what I thought was a fairly standard sort of a 1-1 draw.
This isn't just green shoots now at Norwich City. This isn't getting ahead of ourselves. What we are seeing now at Norwich City is something that could turn into something special. This isn't a flash in the pan. This isn't a fad. Believe the hype. Johannes Hofturup is getting this Norwich City side playing some fantastic football.
Right then.
I look forward to them getting promoted and getting relegated the next season once again.
They weren't that good, were they? And they're not
so, no.
And they're not top of the league.
I mean, they're a decent championship side. They're a decent upper mid-table towards playoffs championship side.
And of course they have Josh Sargent, which is like a
cheat code.
He is very much a cheat code in the championship.
Correct.
So there's that. But anyway, yeah.
You heard from your Josh Sargent friend, didn't you, again?
I did actually, yes.
Which, if you were following the shows in recent weeks, we mentioned, I can't remember where we mentioned it, but you'd got into, is it email correspondence?
No, it was a Twitter DMs.
Right.
It was Twitter DMs.
So you're following each other?
No, for some ill-advised reasons, my DMs are actually open.
Oh, good.
So
send Michael some stuff.
Don't. It's just in case there's any mums reaching out. Really.
I was going to say, especially. Do you know what?
I don't want to shut down the lines of communication.
Did you clock? I think in my For You feed this morning, Jamie Shackleton's mum, her tweet for his boy's birthday appeared, and I immediately thought of you, you sick bastard.
That's a bit harsh.
How is she anyway?
She's fine, yeah. Yeah, she's all right. Yeah, seems to be. She's happy with Jamie doing all right in Sheffield, isn't he, and all that. So
yeah, is he prepared to call you dad yet, or?
No, nor is she, etc.
Let's move on.
So no, he did get back in touch. He said he loved the shout out. He said he clarified he is a Leeds fan, except for Patrick Bamford, who's the worst soccer player I've ever laid eyes on. You guys love. I'm not sure he's listened to the shows. That's not always been the case. There's been bits where we've gone, look, yeah, he's injured a lot. Yes, he's missed chances. I don't think it's great. But anyway, we seem to love him. But apparently it's that gents on our side of the pond simply cannot comprehend trash talk.
Is that what that was? Trash talk?
Yeah.
Or was it just? Is it just because it's shit? Is that why we don't? Is that why we don't really get it?
I think it just doesn't make a huge amount of sense. Right. You lads will sing to each other during matches, which is about in fact, I won't even read that.
Yeah.
Finally, you are anti-American.
Right. Which we know about.
Yeah, you have been for 2 years. I've listened. Never heard a single
rampantly.
Good word about Tyler, Brendan, or Weston. Now, that's not true. Tyler, we said, was our player of the year, and then he got injured and we got relegated. Brendan, I think, got slagged off last year because he fucked off. Same as we slagged all of them off. And I think since he came back, we've been quite nice to him for the most part.
And I, for one, had been saying there's a redemption out there for ages.
And Weston McKennie,
which obviously is very rampantly anti Brendan Aronson. Yeah,
and then McKennie arrived, was shit, admitted he was shit, got us relegated, and admitted he wanted a better move anyway. So, fuck him. He's starting and winning Champions League matches for Juve. which I know you have issue with, Chris.
Yeah, cool. Great. Well done. Fantastic. As I said the other day, Alexander Butner won a league title with Man United playing as a left back, and 90% of people who watch football would say, who is Alexander Butner?
Who is he?
Exactly.
But yeah, anyway, so it's...
I think what's important to do here is just to acknowledge that this is our platform. So you might call it trash talk, whatever, but we can say this about you and we've got absolutely no obligation to air any subsequent replies.
I thought we might do, because
it's funny.
Because it's funny, isn't it? So.
And you're so good at trash talk, strange American friend. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. So let's go to the northeast.
Was there any mentions of freedom, by the way?
Yes. Finished it off with that.
With the freedom.
Just the word freedom in caps.
Yeah.
And an exclamation mark and an eagle.
Norwich's manager has the same agent as Rasmus Christensen. There you go. Just, whilst we're listening to that, whatever bollocks he was talking, I thought I would just look up Johannes Thorpe. I thought he was a guy called Jess Thorpe, who's a manager I've seen on Football Manager because I'm a loser. But he's not actually. Jess Thorpe is a different manager to Johannes Thorpe.
It's because they've got different names.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just thought Jess. I don't know, Jesse Marsh. Anyway, so yeah, he's got the same agency called Boutique Transfers, which doesn't really sound. It sounds like something that would get you from the airport in Dubai rather than get you to move to Arsenal. But yeah, so it's quite a lot of very talented and highly valued Danish footballers, and then Rasmus Christensen.
Who, I mean, spoiler alert, we'll talk about that tomorrow when we do the update. He's possibly on his way out, but
that's because of the
rampant Danish,
the anti-Danish sentiment that we always express on this. In fact, we did sing nasty songs at Kasper Schmeichel as well. So.
No, we didn't sing nasty songs at Kasper Schmeichel. We sang about his dad.
He interpreted them as being nasty.
Fun. Anyway, where are we going now?
Gilesy and Steve.
Gilesy and Steve, how are they?
They're in Sunderland. I've just got this as an intro clip just to get you used to what you're going to be hearing and acclimatise your ears.
We have indeed, but can I point out before I give the lineup, this has took us ages to set this up because he wanted to start, because past everything's on a bit of a hill.
And something else in Geordie.
Bit of Partridge at the end. They love being called.
They get very upset at being called Geordie.
They love being called Geordie as well.
Yeah.
So it does sound quite similar to a non-northeast ear, though, doesn't it? I know you were up there. So I don't know if you can differentiate.
They're quite distinct accents in the same way. But it's like Leeds and Bradford are 9-10 miles apart, and I can tell the accents apart. Newcastle and Sunderland's more pronounced than that. The difference between them. There is clear water there. There's a bit more. It doesn't maybe not to the outside ear, but there is a very clear difference between them.
Which do you prefer?
I like everybody.
You like everybody.
I like all the accents.
Cool. I suppose you'd have been on the radio up there. You'd have
been like a true radio DJ.
You'd have to be nice to everyone.
I like everybody in my TSA. Yeah, it's great.
It's funny when we had Chris Dawkes on talking about the Brian Clough documentary that he did. We used to be in the newsroom with John Shires, who obviously I'd seen covering Leeds loads growing up and was always
he was in Calendar News, wasn't
Calendar
he?
News, yeah. He was the sports guy for years there. Really nice guy, actually. Quite funny. But knowing how much in person he hates Leeds versus how he used to cover Leeds, like with just straight down the line coverage, like almost saying, and that's a good result for Leeds, whereas I know inside I've been going, fucking hell, they're in the Champions League, that's annoying. But no, it was quite nice. So you did that line very well. On to their full-time assessment then, and they think they were a bit lucky.
Right then, full-time whistle, Sunderland 2, Dirty Leeds 2. Now, Stephen, we got away with that one now, mate. 100%. Listen, I've made it quite clear, I hate Leeds. But to be fair, the whole country hates Leeds unless you're from Leeds. I hate them. But apart from the first 10 minutes of the first half, the last 5 minutes of first half, the first 5 minutes of the second half, and the last 3 minutes of the second half, it was all Leeds. They deserved the win. However,
they hate Leeds. I've established they hate Leeds.
I liked having you all the times when Sunderland have been decent.
I like this guy.
Is your kind of jam?
Yeah. He's fun.
Let's hear some more praise for Leeds then.
yes, I predicted 1-0. He predicted 2-1. We knew it was going to be a tight game. I did say, stats-wise, it was going to be 0. It had a 0-0 written all over it. Am I
accepting the draw? You're fucking damn right I am. After that performance...
The way the 90 minutes panned out, of course you take a draw.
I'm not saying we played bad, but Leeds are a good team.
They are
a very good team.
They're going to be there and thereabouts, mate.
Of course they are. Of course they are. But listen,
they are a good team.
Our clean sheet record's gone and our 100% record's gone, but we still haven't been beat. We still haven't been beat, and that's what we've got to take moving on. Leeds are probably going to be the hardest team we play against this season.
Definitely. They are a good team, mate.
And I'll openly say that.
About it.
Listen, 2-2, I'll take it.
More rampant anti-Americanism by you there. Putting on thick regional accents.
Oh, so they can't understand?
So, yeah, because I do know from chatting to some of our American listeners that when we get some of the more extreme, like regional accents from the UK, they do struggle with understanding what's being said. And I could just imagine something slightly baffled by the Macam accent.
I think you can follow it. We're good. They were happy with the draw.
Yep.
Was the bottom line
I
of it.
hate Leeds.
Should we move on to the mad mistake? Someone else who hates Leeds and refs.
The mad
This
mistake.
guy. We've had him on before.
What's your favourite mad mistake?
Chris?
What, hiring me?
Any input on this?
I thought the mad mistake was reference to Meslier, but
No.
this is the name of the podcast.
It's the name of his YouTube channel.
All right, okay.
I assume it relates to something in Sunderland's history. But
Well, in this case, talking about the dickhead ref.
No, thank you. To Tim Robinson, yes, the referee. Tim Robinson, aka Tony Robinson Baldrick from Blackadder. He had a cunning plan. His cunning plan was to give the game to Leeds. He did his utmost to make Leeds win this game of football. Not even fucking 12 men could stop Sunderland from getting a point. Tony Robinson, your cunning plan backfired. You didn't get it. You didn't let Leeds win. It backfired. Sunderland got a draw. We deserved at least a draw in this match.
Yeah, it's all a bit performative, isn't it?
I think he means it, in fairness. I did look at some of the things that he's moans about in this next clip. He's got some certain valid points, but other ones you go, nah, fuck off.
Is he going to, spoiler alert, say that Joe Rodon should be sent off?
Let's listen.
Jesus Christ.
Isidore breaks free in the Leeds side, in the Sunderland's half, going towards the halfway line, completely free. It'd be 1-on-1 with the keeper, but their player just drags them down. It's a shocking challenge. It's a red card all day. And Tony Robinson, Baldrick, bottles it. Absolutely bottles it. Or he's a Leeds fan and he gives a yellow card. Never a yellow card in the month of Sundays. It was red card all day. And Mundell goes down in the box. Was it a penalty? When you look back at it, he's shinned. So for me, that should be a penalty. That's the second time the referee's balls up the game tonight. Second half starts off. This is what boils my blood. Job is kind of pulling the shirt of the Leeds player seconds into the second half, but the ball is nowhere near where them two players are. The ball is by the keeper. So that player has no chance of really getting that ball. Is it a free kick? Yes. Is the yellow card? Of course not. He's either bad or he's a Leeds fan. I'm going to say that now. And you can come in here and say, oh, you're blaming the referee. Fuck off, I'm not. So tonight, referee was shite, and nobody out there, not even a Leeds fan, coming in and telling me the referee was good, because he was absolutely shocking. So I don't want to take your shit right now. So don't come in here and tell me the referee was good. He was rotten. I'm not blaming the I'm not just blaming the referee because of the draw. I'm not. We were the better side. I'm sorry. It's the way it goes. The referee was on Leeds' side. Anyway.
Yeah, he's doing that fan channel thing, just repeating the same thing over and over again, isn't he, just to buy himself time?
They definitely weren't the better side.
He's talking fucking shit.
Slim Pickens this week, was it?
Yeah. I mean, he's saying no Leeds fan can come on here. We don't have to go on there. We can do it on here.
That's true, yeah.
Just say he's talking absolute shit. Joe Rodon was a yellow card. It's not a red. There was plenty of players covering. It was miles away from goal. It wasn't a goal scoring opportunity. Shut up.
Yeah.
The end.
The Pirro goal, I think that is potentially offside, although I did actually watch someone who, it was more of a tactical breakdown thing, so it wouldn't have translated well to this, but he had put a freeze frame of the ball being kicked and drawn lines on it, and it was in line. It was maybe one that...
Good enough for me. Well done, ref. Well done, Baldrick.
It was maybe one that, could have been VAR'd with the dotted line, but...
And again, the Joe Bellingham yellow card, it is, by definition, a yellow card if you pull someone's shirt and foul them. He was pulling his shirt and fouled him.
He says he's no chance of getting to the ball, so why is he grabbing him then?
Yeah.
Let him go. Like you can't just grab people.
Leeds committed 5 fouls more than Sunderland did. So also, what's the Tony Robinson thing?
Oh,
Because he's not called Tony Robinson.
No,
Ken Robinson.
He's just called Robinson.
It's annoying. You're not. Are you old enough to understand the reference? Or
Time team.
right?
No.
Shit, he doesn't know about Blackadder, does he?
I know what Blackadder is.
Well, he
but,
played Baldrick, didn't he? Tony Robinson.
Right, fair.
So yeah,
Okay.
it's just a reference back to that. Made
he's
me feel
just-
very old now.
You're really pushing it there.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're noted for contemporary
I was
references.
going to say, I think there's Oliver Langford. We do always refer to as
Bonnie's lad.
Bonnie's lad. So I mean, we can't criticise him too much.
Oh, we
for
can.
this.
Oh, we can.
The-
Can we just be massively hypocritical?
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'd have gone down the line of Paul Robinson from Neighbours.
Yeah.
And talk about Lassiter's a bit.
Yes.
Probably the road I'd have gone down. And the dive, where I think the guy was very lucky not to be booked, he was saying he got shinned. It's just a dive, wasn't
He
it?
dragged his leg.
It's a dive.
He dragged his leg, Chris. He dragged his leg.
He dived, and I'm pretty sure I remember thinking that he should have been booked for something else not long after that. So he should have been sent off. There you go.
And imprisoned.
Yep.
Right, cool. So just to confirm that he don't know what he's on about, he's got some praise for Meslier.
Regis Lebris knows the keeper of Leeds. Is it Meslier? Or whatever you call him? He knows the keeper from Leeds. That keeper from Leeds is a good keeper. You know, apart from the last second of the game. I thought the keeper from Leeds had a good game. He was dominant in his box. He's a tall, big lad. He caught the ball. He wasted time, you know, and he controlled his box pretty well. So you've got a good keeper, Leeds.
Tall and big lad. Is that a...
Unique for a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Most of them are 5'5".
Is that a place? Is that a play style? I don't know. I'm feeling tired already with this guy.
Fair enough.
He's thinking about your goalkeeping career, isn't he, Michael?
Commanding my box.
6-yard box, you mean?
Though I think I would have backed myself to have not let that in.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I wouldn't have had issues.
I mean, you'd have conceded 7 before that.
Leading up to that, they may have had a slight cushion going into injury time if I'd have been in net. But yeah, I do think I would have saved that.
If somebody's swinging a corner over, let's say, right into the edge of your 6-yard box.
I'm shouting, defenders, as it's coming in.
Where are you at this point? Are you out trying to claim it, or are you on your line?
On my line.
Right.
Absolutely rooted to it.
4 men on the posts.
Exactly, yeah.
Just trying to block the goal.
Yeah.
Good technique. It does
Simple
work.
stuff.
It does work. And this is where I had to send Chris Rigg then.
This is further delusion.
Chris Rigg is an amazing young lad, 17-year-old talent for Sunderland. He's an absolute star in the making. It's going to be worth a fortune. We better not, and we cannot sell Chris Rigg in January. There's no way Chris Rigg wants to leave. I think I know the time of day. There's no way Chris Rigg wants to leave Sunderland when he's playing game in, game out, and risk going to a big club, sitting on the bench. There's no way. The only way Chris Rigg leaves is if our hierarchy sell him. And I'm 99.9% sure Chris Rigg will not be sold in the summer, sold in the January transfer window. No way, Jose.
It's literally never happened, has it?
No.
That a player leaves a club to go sit on a bench at a bigger club.
No. I remember us signing Michael Bridges from Sunderland.
Yeah, he was good, wasn't
Yeah, £5 million.
he? A lot of money.
We should sign Chris Rigg.
Yeah.
For £5 million.
If we go up, sign him.
No, in January.
Right.
Just
because we can.
I mean, he does have Ipswich in January written all over it. Panic buy, end of the window. Get relegated back to the Championship anyway.
I think I struggled because there was a player called Chris Riggett. Do you remember him? Played for Middlesbrough. I think I struggled with someone with a similar name. So I imagine Chris Rigg is just like a shit centre-back.
Right.
But I think he's quite good, apparently. I don't know.
He was quite good at Elland Road against us as well.
Yeah.
It was just a sad night though, wasn't it? So
Yeah, we'll get him. We'll get him back next year when we've gone up and Sunderland need the money.
Yeah.
We'll sling him a few crumbs off the table.
Have some of our millions.
Off our disgusting Premier League table.
God, we need to go up, don't we?
We do.
We really do. Right, why now?
Let's go Sunderland Echo, because this is the first person I've heard
Sunderland representing.
Sunderland. Very good.
This is Sunderland Echo.
With this theory about their goal.
I thought they'd frustrated Sunderland really well in the last 20-25 minutes. I thought they showed their intelligence, their game management, you know, a little bit of the dark arts in the way that there was, you know, obviously a lot of time wasting, but at the same time, they bought fouls, they used the ball well. To be fair, I didn't see Sunderland getting an equaliser, and then it's an incredible error, really, you know, Alan Brown's sort of effort. It's either a Shane Warne style ball of the century to spin it away from Meslier, or it's a terrible goalkeeping error. Maybe it's a little bit of both.
It's not a bit of both.
Nobody knows, do they? I don't think anybody definitively knows.
Well, I think we can conclusively say that was it Brown, he said, put the ball in, did not deliberately spin it off Junior Firpo's head.
No.
Yeah, I put it up on Twitter on Saturday morning, I think, and basically just said, I haven't a clue what happened here. Can anyone give me a definitive theory? And it maybe got like 6 or 7 or 8 replies, and it was all people saying different things.
Yeah.
So I don't think anyone's ever going to really work it out.
I find the confusing thing...
It's going to be analysed like there's Zapruder footage, isn't it?
Yeah. I feel like I didn't find any Sunderland fan footage of it either, actually, because I was wondering if someone might have an angle of it. But I find the weird thing about it is that Meslier doesn't realise it's happened and try to react but fail. You know, in that same way as like when stuff gets deflected, you see keepers kind of going one way, but then they flinch the other way, but then it's too late. He just sort of watches it the whole way, even after it spins. He doesn't.
He had a sort of a slightly wild, panicked look in his eye. It happened very quickly, Michael. What do you want him to do?
Save it.
Yeah, me too. Right, what next?
That's what I'd have done. While we're on the error, let's hear TalkSport discussing the error. So Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoist.
Friday night.
The goal that Leeds conceded.
Oh, through his legs.
I know, I don't want to. I shouldn't, but I've got to. I mean, Sunderland obviously flying high, but boy, did they get a break there with the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Could not believe it. You seen it, Jim?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I tweeted about it. I went on X about it. And it's fair to say that Leeds United fans, and it's one of the reasons I love them, because they've got so much passion, but they absolutely battered me for trying to defend the goalkeeper who's played 180 odd times for them. You know, and
can I ask you, in what way, shape, or form are you trying to defend them, just as a matter of interest?
Well, he made a mistake, but what I felt was that afterwards, and Leeds fans are going to tell me this is not the case. Junior Firpo had scored. He went straight down the tunnel at the end. No attempt to console the goalkeeper.
You're right.
And a lot of Leeds players did go to the goalkeeper, but it was a very cursory sort of pat on the cheek, that sort of thing. Nobody put their arms around him, you know, at a time when he really needed it. And I'm going to get battered for this again now, you know. But that's what he needs. And when he next plays for Leeds, I hope every single Leeds United fan gets behind him, because that is what he's going to need.
And they will. They will.
And I'm not sure about this, because people might know Meslier and might think, oh, he'd rather be left alone. Because I think in that situation, if I'd done that, I think I'd rather be left alone.
Yeah.
I don't think I want people coming up to me and going, oh, it's all right, because I'd be going, well, it's not really, is it? And then they'd have to go, nah, it's not really. You fucked it, haven't you? Because you know that's what everyone thinks. So I'd rather in that situation, people say nothing to me.
You're used to the silent treatment.
I know what I've done wrong.
You don't need to tell me. You don't need to tell me.
I do think there's an element of truth to what Richard Keys is saying about...
Richard Keys?
Richard Keys. Oh, my God.
That's very harsh on Jeff Stelling.
Something Freudian there, Chris.
Yeah, Richard...
Jeff Stelling left of his own accord.
Yeah.
It was just banter.
No, Jeff seems like a good bloke. I
actually do like Jeff Stelling, so sorry, Jeff. About Firpo, I don't see how that helped. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's probably going to be quite awkward going back into training and being like, yeah, you got something you want to say?
Nah, I don't think there's any issue whatsoever with it. None. I just don't think they'll give a shit. And then people that had come to close to dust-ups in the dressing rooms before, because footballers do, just testosterone, men all in a group together. You know what it's like.
He's probably apologised to him since. He's probably been like, yeah, sorry about that.
It's just a bit of a flounce over something like that. Like, just don't do it.
It's ruined.
Everyone, don't do it.
It's ruined his big moment, wasn't it? For Junior.
What, because he scored?
It was going to be his winning,
the winner, wouldn't it?
His winning goal, and then all of a sudden he's getting an OG chalked up,
I think there's a lot to be said for a flounce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your best flounce?
I'm trying to think if I've ever done a flounce. My favourite flounce, I think technically if it's a flounce, which I think I've spoken about it before, so if you've been listening to the shows for a long time, you might have heard me reference this, but when I was a kid, I say a kid, I was 17, one of my first jobs at Dunn's Stores in Bradford, worked there for 4 hours. I was like, I don't like this. I don't know what I should be doing. No one's telling me. So I just walked out and never came back.
Wow.
Until I had to return the uniform to them and then go collect my pay, which was in cash, which was really, really awkward. 4 hours of pay. I got something like 16 or 17 pounds. Can you imagine that?
Pretty decent.
A lot of money, innit?
What'd you spend it on?
Oh, stuff.
Cider.
Yes, almost certainly. Yeah. So that's probably my best and only major flounce, I think.
Right, then let's finish off Sunderland with a bit of fans react. It's just them saying we're decent, really.
I think we both agreed. I think that's comfortably the best opposition I've watched us play.
Yeah.
Leeds this season.
Leeds are a quality side.
Look,
definitely.
Leeds definitely. Obviously, they're without Somerville, they were without Ruta, and they're without Archie Gray, Glenn Kamara. But they still had a lot of quality and were able to move the ball at a rate that I've never seen a lot of other sides do. Even Burnley, who I fancied to be up there, I felt like, although Burnley were missing, they were in a bit of turmoil at the time, we still controlled the game enough to win that. Whereas I think Leeds, that was an example actually of, if I'm comparing that game to the Middlesbrough game, where Middlesbrough had a lot of the ball but were ponderous with it. Leeds were not ponderous. They were very, very quick. There was a lot of passing triangles going on. There was a lot of understanding between them, and I felt at times we really struggled to cope with them.
I think we might actually be quite good.
Yeah, I still think the only thing that stops Leeds going up this year is Leeds.
Yeah. As it was last year, really.
Well, I suppose Ipswich, Sunderland, Southampton, Leicester, they all played a fairly big part.
Yeah, but then, playoff final and that. That was very Leedsy. But no, I think we're probably all right. And listening to the Not the Top 20 lads, both Ali and George have said it. George came on the show. Is it yesterday? I lose track of the days now, but yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
said we're good.
Given we've just said to the people who we agree with, who produce a really good podcast about the Championship, should we listen to some absolute pricks?
Yeah, fine.
They're probably not really, but they're not saying we're any good.
So the same stuff we don't agree with, so slagging them.
So fuck them.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, a loss would have been harsh on Sunderland because Leeds had a 10-minute spell in the first half where they really turned the screw, but Sunderland were otherwise the better side for the vast majority of this game. They struggled to convert that into chances, though, in fairness. And then you've also got to give a mention to the fact that Leeds' first goal through Joel Pirro was offside as well. It was one of those where VAR would have disallowed it, but it was also so close that you can't be too upset with the linesman for not giving it. It sums up a pretty rotten week for Leeds United, doesn't it, Justin? 2 bad injuries to 2 key players and 2 games where they failed to win and were probably second best in both, which isn't ideal, is it, Justin?
Weird.
Fuck off. We weren't second best in both.
No. I think, but looking at what the second tier do on Twitter, there's a certain amount of clickbaity, ragebaity stuff that they put out trying to engage Leeds fans. I think so. I wonder if that's part of it.
It's because Leeds are absolutely massive and they don't like it, and they know. And they
Fair
know
enough, Chris.
fine rightly that people will engage with it. We're engaging with it right now, I suppose, and.
But they don't benefit from that, so it's fine.
Whereas, you should go listen to Not the Top 20.
A great bunch of lads.
Whose analysis I thought was measured, calming, almost therapeutic for us, hearing sensible outside voices say, you're going to win this division. And they've called it most years out of the last 4 or 5. They were saying, I think only Leeds have fucked it for them. So it's all going to be fine. Whereas these chumps, should we start an internet war?
Yeah, go on then.
Oh, it might be quite tiring though. It might be a bit of admin.
Yeah, can someone else do it?
All right, okay, fine.
Are you advocating for a pylon? Because that's pretty dangerous.
No, don't do a pylon either.
No,
that's just not worth it, is it?
No, just probably just let it go.
It's fine.
It's on the internet, isn't it?
We watch those games. We know we're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to. Do you want to finish on that Cardiff City fan? Or Sky Blue Army TV.
If it's a swearing child in Wales, I want to finish on that.
Okay, that's exactly what it is.
All right.
So we'll finish on that. Sky Blue Army TV, who we heard from after we beat Coventry. They have lost since, but they did beat Blackburn 3-0 after us. He's pretty similar after a win.
So he was very creative, for anybody who's not heard that episode, he was very creative and very sort of florid with his language. It was all quite theatrical and fun. And he talks about farm foods quite a lot.
Farm foods, there was... lots of weird mixed metaphors and stuff going on. Here he is after a win against Blackburn though, and he's doing more of the same.
I've got a farm foods update for you in a second, by the way.
we've seen the light at the end of the tunnel. We've come out the opposite side of the Eurostar tunnel and we've seen the light. It was a demolition, a capitulation, an embarrassment for Deadburn heading back up north to cry in their pillows. Yeah, and rightly so. Ronaldinho Rodoni, Josh Tricotart equals, yeah, and Uncle Sheaf. That knife was sharp today because that midfield trio, they dominatrix without the whip, yeah? Full excursions, full commitment, full dedication, full passion. This is what we've been asking for all season. And today, you've really brought all the pieces of the pie together. Yeah, we've got the pastry, we've got the filling, we've got the salad. I asked you to bring the salad to the table. Today, you brought the whole 3-course meal. So you guys have listened.
Salad does not go into a pie.
No. You could have it on the side.
I say the people of Wigan have probably found how to make a salad pie.
Yeah, no.
Those guys are creative with their pies.
No, good shout. He's doing the same thing, isn't he? It's like free association almost.
Yeah. It's all right for a bit.
Yeah.
But when I watched the long video, it was too much.
It reminds me a little bit of like, again, if your twin boys were sat there just ranting nonsense at you, just saying loads of stuff. Eventually, there's a tipping point.
Bedtime, as it's known, where it's just like, I need to just filibuster this and I can get through to 10 o'clock. If I can just keep asking questions.
Filibusters.
I'll try to ask something he might be vaguely interested in, so he'll feel the need to answer. But yeah, it's a lot.
Regarding the farm foods rib chat, I mentioned before that farm foods had some good ribs in their freezers. A pal of mine, Nick, mentioned that TSB subscribing fellow Leeds exile who lives down close to him near St Albans works for the company that makes those ribs. He's going to be monitoring sales in West Yorkshire after the shout out.
What do we need to be looking out for exactly? Or do they just do one set of ribs?
It's like just the ribs in their freezer. They've got big
farm ribs.
Big ribs.
Do you know what animal they're from?
The old rib animal.
Or do they just? Is it no guarantees?
It's whatever you find.
Horse. Some days a chicken, some days a horse. Who knows?
Very small.
Who knows what you're getting?
I'm sure they are of the highest quality.
Well,
and the welfare's great.
While we're on food chat, then let's go back to Kitchens because he was talking about Liam Kitching, former Leeds, didn't actually play for us, did he? Leeds youth player, went off and he's ended up at Coventry, but he can't leave the Kitching chat.
I'll be honest, Kitchen, I gave him a lot of stick in the last game. But today, we see the original Kitchen. He's not a Magnet, he's not a Wicks, he's not a B&Q, he's not a Howdens, he's the original Kitchen today.
He put the plug in the sink.
He put the plug in the sink and he caused an electric spark. All the Blackburn strikers were getting static shocks. They could not get past Kitchen today.
Yeah, fine.
I feel like he's starting out as a freestyle rap battle guy. And is very much starting out.
8 Mile was on the other night, actually. It's a good shout.
He could win a rap battle by confusion.
Yeah. It's only when you break it down after you go, you know, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Why does putting a plug-in give a spark to give a static shock? Anyway.
All right.
Let's just move on. So that Cardiff City fan. So it was I think Swansea's obviously the main derby for Cardiff, but there's also the Seven-Side derby, which is when they play. It's when they play Bristol City or Bristol Rovers.
Right.
They just dislike people being near to them, I guess, across a big bridge.
That is generally how a derby works, though, isn't it? Like,
sort of weird to have a derby with two teams in the same city, though. I'm trying to think if there's any equivalence of that.
I suppose it would Barnsley playing against the two Sheffield clubs.
I think they hate Sheffield Wednesday more than United, though, don't they? I'm pretty sure there's maybe they just played each other more. I'm not sure. I've definitely seen Barnsley fans really hating Sheffield Wednesday before.
I mean, the other side to this is that I don't care either.
Okay, cool. Anyway, he went on the he went on the coach to watch this one with his dad. This is Cardiff. It finished 1-1. This is Cardiff taking the lead on 54 minutes.
I don't know why, but that's just got me pining for my own lost youth, that.
It's pleasingly feral.
It's just brilliant, yeah.
Nice.
That's what it's about, isn't it?
It is what it's about, but then it's also about that feeling of sickness and the pessimism that kicks in when you're defending a 1-0 lead. This is from
or a 2-1 lead.
Or a 2-1 lead.
And then your goalkeeper does a thing. Yeah.
But this is less than 20 minutes later and Bristol with the ball at the other end.
We can't hold a lead for fucking £1 million. What the fuck is going on? Like, same shit. We were 1-0 up, but then we just had to concede.
He's aged like 30 years in terms of his cynicism. His cynicism in 20 minutes.
So you go from going mad about it to this going, well, I'm fucking lost now.
I have to say as well that noise of the goal, the Bristol goal going in, reminds me that the being in an away end and hearing a home goal go in is one of the worst sounds, one of the worst experiences in the world. It's awful when when everything you're looking at, everything erupts around you and it's loud. Fuck off.
It's I'm not someone who reacts to that. I'm just like, stand still.
It didn't happen.
Stand still, let them get on with it. And then obviously when it goes the other way, you can be
dreadful.
You can then start going, fuck off. You can start on that, which is great fun.
Which is exactly what he did, to be fair.
He did the right thing.
I do like him.
You take the high road until you don't have to take the high road, then you pick the lowest road possible. Nice.
Well, I know when you see it the other way, seeing people get crossed back is just funny when you've scored. So if no reaction is like, don't let them, it's almost like not letting them get to you.
Yeah.
Because
it's a battle, isn't it?
Exactly. And I'm winning on very rare occasions.
Morally, I'm correct.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. Oh, he's great. He's great. I think we should feature him every week.
He's good, isn't he?
Just a swearing child. Yeah, swearing children are always good value.
You should pay him £1 every time he swears.
Ruffle his hair. God, sport. Well done.
See how many you can get in the YouTube video and still be monetized and not get grounded as well.
He's there with his dad. I think dad rules is you're allowed to swear at football.
Oh yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah,
he seems like he's probably a nice sweet boy most of the time, but then he just turns into a bit of an animal at football, which I think is nice.
Which, to be fair, is not dissimilar to me. I'm essentially just living that same experience, albeit another 30 years down the track.
Probably a head boy at his local school or something like that, and then on the weekends.
Well, there you go. Is that for propaganda this week?
That's it. Let's hope we win soon, because
Yes.
then it's more fun. Obviously not, there isn't a propaganda next week because
There are no bloody games. Or we could
games.
listen to people using clappers at Wembley or something.
For England against, we even talked about this yesterday, I still can't remember who it was.
Greece and Finland.
Greece and
Finland.
Great.
Grow up.
Exciting.
Right. We'll be back with propaganda after the international break, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
The Square Ball Podcast.